Are you staying up?
Mm,
Well, now you're
mm,
here. You might as well
mm,
take a listen, take a
mm,
gander, stay a while.
mhm,
Here we
as you
go.
should.
What are you
Mhm.
drinking? Water?
Water with blue Mio, it's my freaking favorite. Do you drink Mio? Have you tried it?
No, I don't. Not the biggest fan of like plain water. I don't know. I can
No.
do plain water, obviously, but the Propel packs with the immune support, they're like lemon, blackberry flavored. So
Okay,
good. So good. They have
okay.
zinc and vitamin C in them.
I love that you
Basic
called
daily
just
vitamins.
I love that you called normal water plain water.
It is. It's
I
plain
love it.
water. It's a
I love it.
boring water.
It is.
Um,
It
how
is, it
y'all
is.
doing? Y'all doing good? We got some interesting things that we're going to be talking about today.
Oh,
We went
yeah.
ahead and we asked you guys some questions that
Mhm,
y'all had for us, and
mhm.
I think we're just going to talk about it. We're going to see. Maybe we're going to have some different opinions on some different topics, but we will see. How are you doing? Doing good?
Yeah, yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked.
Ready to
I'm
be
really
here?
I'm really stoked. Yeah, so Riley has the list
I do.
of what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna have this here. She has it, so she's gonna lead us in this, and I'm excited. We were FaceTiming before this, and she was telling me what y'all sent in, and very creative. So I'm stoked. Let's start. What you got? What you got for number
There
one?
we go. Let's see.
Mm,
Someone asked, "Have you ever had any paranormal experiences before?"
yes. Have you?
Of course, obviously. Are you a
Okay.
believer? Are you a skeptic?
I believe that there are things we don't understand.
Okay.
I believe we don't know everything. And I
Okay.
also believe in a hat flying off the wall in
Is that
my
what
r-
happened to you?
in my living room. Yeah, and bulls like sliding across the counter.
Wait.
And I may or may
Gosh.
not have indulged in the Ouija boards when I was like in middle school because that was like
Okay.
the thing to do.
I also okay. I definitely remember. I never watched scary movies when I was a kid, but my
Oh,
best friend when we were in like elementary school, she like found a Ouija board in her basement, and I had no idea what
hell
it
no,
was.
girl! You have to buy that at like Toys R Us. You don't find one in a basement.
No, yeah, I definitely found it in the basement. She lived
Was
in
it
like
old
it was
and dusty?
old. It was dusty and old, and
Describe.
we lived in the middle. She lived in the middle of the woods, and she was like, "Let's go outside
Ooh,
and do this."
was your
So
friend
we
a
sat.
witch?
No, no. I lost contact with her, but I hope Bo just flew a
I saw
dog
that.
hair into my eye. Love him so much. Love you, Bo. Um, yeah, I lost contact with her after like elementary school. Well, like middle school. But yeah, no, she had like a random trampoline in the middle of her woods. We took it out in the middle of the woods.
Like
Definitely
you
heard
do.
like I didn't even think about this one. When I was like writing up these questions, this one didn't even like pop up in my head for like my paranormal experience.
Ooh, give it. Give it.
Yeah. So very Air Force of me when I was deployed. My
Oh,
records say it was a deployment. It was my boots have never left the United States,
keep
unfortunately.
it. Keep it.
But my records say it was a deployment. So we were again very Air Forcey. We were in
Mhm.
hotels. We were all in hotels for about 5 months, and I was in my room. We'd maybe been there for like a week. And I went to go turn the water on in the shower, and it was like one of those like glass like sliding doors. And when I
Mhm.
went to go turn the water on, to like let it heat up, the I don't know if I like at the time I thought that I had like slipped, like I had like my feet had fallen out underneath me, but it felt like I had been like pushed. So I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, whatever." I ended up hitting my eyebrow on like the corner of like the glass, and like I honestly probably needed stitches. I probably needed like
Oh,
a couple of stitches. And I remember I walked out the next morning cuz like I didn't say anything to anyone. Like it was fine. Like I was able to take care of it myself. I
yeah.
walked out and I had a big old goose egg, and like it was like all bruised around it and like that little spot.
Oh.
And my NCO, she walked out and she had the exact same thing on her eyebrow. And I was like, "Girl, what happened?" She was like, "It was so weird. Like I was going to get in the shower and I like turned the water on and I like tripped like randomly." And I was like, okay, like weird coincidence, like weird timing, whatever." So sitting there in the bed, and I was just sitting there, and the light, like, right by the door, like, starts, like, flickering, and I was like, okay, like, whatever." Get up, turn the light off. It's fine. Go sit back down on the bed. Couple days later, I'm sitting there, and the TV remote, I kid you not, literally flew across the room, and I was like, "I'm out. I'm not doing this." I went and I found my friend, and I told him, and he was like, "Dude, there's no way. Like, that's not happening." So he comes back to my room, and he was like, "I don't believe you. Like, none of this stuff is happening." So when he comes in, the light starts flickering, like the remote like went flying, and I was like, "I'm literally not doing this." It was like probably midnight at this point. We go out, we go to the front desk, and we're like, "Listen, like, I am not exaggerating. I literally think that there is a ghost in my room." So the girl that was working, she was like, "Oh, well, like, what room are you in?" Like, blah, blah, blah. Turns out it was some type of like abusive situation. A girlfriend and a boyfriend had gotten into this like huge fight, and he ended up murdering her in this hotel. So I'm like listening to the story, and I'm like, this is such bullshit. Like, there's no way, like, I don't believe any of this. No, I Googled it and it was true. So he killed her, and then he got into a standoff with the police, and he ended up, I think he might have done it himself. I'm not 100% sure. So I went back to that room, and I was like, listen, I come in peace. Like, we can be friends. Like, I am so sorry that this happened to you. Like, you did not deserve that. After that, nothing happened. That was it. That
You
was literally
acknowledged
it.
her?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh.
So I think I like made my peace with her, and then we just lived in cohesion after that. Scary,
Yeah.
but
Would
are
you
you
ever
superstitious?
I am, but hang on, I have a question for you.
Okay,
Would you
okay.
ever go to, like
No.
what if it was, like, with a guide or, like, those
No.
ghost catchers? What if you went
No.
with me? What if we went together
Can
and
you
we
imagine?
and we did the little recording thing where you try and, like, record a ghost, and it's, like, with, like, professional ghost catchers or something? Would you ever do that with me? Say yes. Say
If
yes.
this video gets
Say yes. 10 likes.
10,000 likes,
No, 10.
10,000 likes.
No, 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 meet us halfway. Meet us halfway.
What is halfway between 10 and 10,000?
100.
That girl math was not girl math. And
150. Highest I'll go is 151
this is not
upvotes.
good. This is not good. What's it called? What's it called?
Negotiating?
Negotiating. This is
I'm
not good
winning.
negotiating.
I think it's good. I think it's good. I think the people I think they have my back. I think they have my back here. We're at episode 4, Riley. We're babies. We're
Exactly.
baby.
I know that we're babies, but like I am also a baby. So this is like I guess like where like my like superstitiousness comes in. So I was always taught like growing up, and I don't even know where this came from. I think it was my grandmother who told me this. Maybe
Mm,
I read it in a book. I don't really remember. But depending on where you go,
mhm,
so like places like hospitals, like graveyards, like that kind of thing, the
mhm.
shoes that you wear, like the wandering souls will like attach themselves to your shoes. So you're never supposed to wear those shoes into your house. Like, you're supposed to wait like a certain amount of time. Like, I would wait like 24 hours because I was in honor guard. I was in honor guard, and I had some like really like like paranormal
Oh.
experiences during honor guard. But like I would never wear like my shoes in the house, and like I don't know, like I just don't want
Is it
the
because
juju.
you're stepping in the ghost, and then you're, like, taking it back? Like, you got a
Yeah,
little
it's like
ghost on the bottom of your boot, and you just gotta wait for it to, like, run off. You gotta get a little hose.
it's like their souls like will attach themselves to like the soles of your feet, like your soles of your shoes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I would rather be in the safe zone. Like, I throw salt over my shoulder
Oh
every
yeah,
time I
same.
spill it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I now throw it in the sink because I kept stepping in it so much.
Yeah, that's literally
Um,
the worst. Or when you're like baking and you like drop like a little bit of sugar, and then you like step on sugar for the next like 2 weeks after you like cleaned it multiple times.
yeah, and you got sweet feet. Nope,
Yeah.
nope. It's so
You ever do like
tiny.
the cricket feet?
The cricket feet?
Have you ever seen that?
What do you
It's
step on
like,
a cricket?
ah, I they like, you know how crickets like rub their feet together? You
Oh,
get like crumbs on the bottom of your feet and have to like rub them off, like the cricket feet.
girl, no, I brush it.
There
I
was a
don't.
video. There was a
What do you
video
do?
on
Do you pick
TikTok.
yourself up like this and then you just like fly your
There
feet
was a
together?
video on TikTok that went viral, and it
Was
was
it the
this.
dude? where he claps his
Yes, it was the
feet.
dad, and he would, like, slap his feet together.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, really funny.
There's
Couldn't be me.
There I wasn't the dad one I'm thinking of. There was this guy, and he's filming himself on the bed. Like, he's doing the bed thing, and then, like, he's laying down, there's, like, kind of a spot, like, in the background
Mhm.
of, like, his room, and he's doing cringe maxing on purpose, and it's
Yes!
yeah, and then
Princess. Princess, how are you?
"Hello, princess," and
Hello,
then he, like,
princess.
he goes, like he's, like, "Do
With
you
the
wanna see me
fedora.
be" yeah, with a fedora, and he's, like, "Do you wanna see me like, I can be like a bad boy," and then he, like, takes his feet out of nowhere, and he claps it, and then so
Yes.
I die, and then he cuts to it again, and then he takes his with his toes, behind him, he takes a belt, and he, like, makes it crack, and
Honestly, that's impressive.
he goes, "Princess." I
Princess.
was in stitches. I
Every time he comes up,
died.
I have to send it to my friends because
I yeah.
I just have to. Like, have you ever seen him, like, break character?
No, I don't
He'll
want to.
post videos.
I wanna be I just I whenever I see it, I need to get to the end, I need to see what happens, I never know what's gonna happen, and I have to enjoy it. If he breaks character, I'm gonna cry. I
Yeah,
need
well, a lot of the times at, like, the end of his videos, like, if you stay, like, to the very, very end, he just, like, makes direct eye contact with the camera and is like, and, like, it'll just, like, cut off, like, he's, like, sighing at himself for
Oh.
doing that. So he's, like,
Oh, I
not really
haven't
breaking
seen it.
character, but he's acknowledging that it's, like, cringy.
Cringy? Oh, so I love that
Yeah.
cringe humor. I eat that up. What about
Ugh.
you?
I I'm thinking about myself. Can you think of any, like, cringy moments that you've had? Like,
Oh,
super
yeah,
cringy, like,
they
even
all
thinking
come
about
to
them
me
now?
right before I go to bed every night. They haunt me. They haunt me in my
Yeah.
dreams all the time.
Yeah. I
I'm
can't.
s Yeah, I'm so socially awkward, but it's like they're making, like, intentional cringe humor. I
Yeah,
love I love that. It's so good.
I do. Those are really good. Let's see. What else do we have?
Oh,
Speaking
yeah.
of cringe humor,
I'll go.
do you have a weirdest boot camp experience?
I don't have a weird boot camp experience, but I did get 3 or 4 341s pulled within, like, an hour. Yeah, so it
Damn.
wasn't it I know. I set records, and then I actually gave our flight a bad rep.
Oh,
And, like,
no.
we got teased. I made our drill sergeants get teased by other drill sergeants, but we were the best flight. We were. I just made some accidents on my anyway, yeah,
What'd
it's
you do?
okay, so I got the 341s pulled. Okay, so in the Air Force and basic training, you
Okay,
have a
so
little
so
yeah, you have a little card. It's a 341. It has to be filled out. Okay. Imagine the way that they're doing it is if you see a trainee acting out or doing something good, you can pull something from them, you can fill it out, and then you know, like, where they're from, you know that they're not lost, whatever. It's like, so you have your name, your flight, or like your squadron and your room number. Okay. So just think of it. You have your name, the building you're in, and then the room number you're in. Okay. This is where I screwed up, but hang on, I'll get there. So it's picture day. It's picture day. We've made it into basic training. We're finally getting our pictures where I looked complete, like the picture of me, I looked constipated.
Oh,
It
no.
was so bad. I don't even think I gave it to my parents. I was like, no, this isn't happening. But anyway, it's picture day, and then it's during COVID and whatever, and so we've been an amazing flight. So they let us walk back in like little tiny formations, like 2, 3,
Schmooze.
4, yeah, little schmees, little schmooze.
Small moving units.
Exactly. We
There
were
you go.
tactical. We were in our blues, right? The big clunky boots, the skirts, the hat, everything. So we're going back with our guide on, and our guide on was locked in. She was super smart. You know when you meet them, the people that are just super duper smart, always by the book, really good. So
Loved our
we're
guide on.
walking. Guidons have a giant freaking flag that they're holding. So you don't not see them. Okay. And it's like 3 of us. And so we're marching back. Everything's great. We're super happy. We got our pictures. We're almost graduated. It's great. And then we hear just this mystical voice somewhere. And then it goes, is that a goddamn guide on without her freaking, they didn't say freaking, without a freaking cover on her head? And the
Oh,
cover is a
no.
hat. So we are looking around for this guide on that isn't wearing her hat. And then we look at ours and we go, oh no. And remember, so she has a flag sticking up, showing where we are. We're just moving around, not discreet at all. Comes up, they chew us out and take our 341s. You always have to have a certain amount. If you get one pulled, you always have to have 3. So it's very smart to carry extras, right? To carry extras. So they pull it, and he looks at my 341 and he goes, "What the hell is written on this?" And I go, "What do you mean? What do you mean, sir?" And they go,
Sir trainee.
"Sir, yeah." So I flipped my building number and my room number. So
Rookie
it looks
mistake.
stupid as hell. It looks stupid as hell. So he pulls that. We get chewed out for that. We keep going. We keep going. We don't have our cover on. We make it a little bit of ways. We get it pulled again by a second drill sergeant.
Damn, they were on you. They smelled the blood.
They smell. I don't know if they texted him, but they were like, "Hey, look for the guidon without the hat on, and just
For sure.
roast them,
For
right?"
sure.
And that also tells you, like, when they look at it, because they're all coworkers, right? They also go, "Oh, I know who's in charge of this. Like, that's my homie, right? I'm gonna go give him a hard time later." So we get chewed out again. I don't remember what that one was for. And then we are like super sweating. We're super stressed. And we know when we get back, we have to tell our drill sergeants what we had two 341s pulled. And I had to tell them that it was freaking filled out incorrectly. So we get finally to the building, and there is a sergeant. She's doing formation drills. She's doing movement drills with her people. And she asks, and she comes up on us, and she's like, "Why the hell are you wearing earrings? Are you allowed to be wearing earrings? Who said you could be wearing earrings?" Because it was for picture day. So we were allowed to have like pearls or like little earring. Obviously, they were just stressing us out, but we were stressed out nonetheless.
Yeah.
Because this drill sergeant group chat had their eye on us. And so we get another one pulled. And at this point, we had 2 pulled. You're supposed to have 3. So I don't,
gosh.
we didn't have enough on us. So we get a 341 pulled for like walking out of formation. And then she pulls another one for us not having enough 341. So then we each have one little 341 left. I think I might have had 0. I don't remember. We go up to our drills. We go up to our room, our bay, and like outside we have a little huddle, and we're like, who's gonna tell? And so, the guidon decides, like, I'm the most locked in, I'll tell. And so we all go in, and then we tell the drill sergeant everything. We're like sweating, we're like super stressed out. They chew us out. It's fine. Cut 2, we hear other drill sergeants making fun of our flight, calling us by our squadron instead of our room number because of the fact that I filled everything out. So for the rest of our experience at boot camp, our drill sergeants were getting teased because I got our thing wrong. And then anytime we went to the chow hall, they're like, "Oh, look, it's room, flight, blah, 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 room, blah, blah,
That's
blah."
so like.
And they would yell it across.
Yeah, I think that we were talking about this in one of the last episodes. How like when you're in basic, like every little thing, it just seems so like detrimental
It
to
does.
you, and it feels like it's like the end of the world, and then you realize like, oh, this is going to be over like very shortly, very soon.
Yes.
So.
Yes. However, my name was very well known at that point because they're like, "Who has the stupid troop that didn't fill it out right?" They're like, "How can you not remember your own room number?" And they're like,
No.
"Yeah." So that wasn't the weirdest experience, but that was definitely my horror story.
There you go.
And I know you had the fight from when you were in that you talked about
Yeah.
in one of the episodes. Did you have anything weird happen or like crazy
Yeah.
or whatever?
There was I genuinely don't know if she is in the military, but everyone and all the branches can agree on this, that in basic training, you just have that one person in your flight, your battalion, like whatever it is.
Do you remember her name?
I do.
I remember I remember her name too.
And you question how they got into the military and how they stayed in the military. So she slept next to me. And when you're in basic, you're either going to be put in 2 different like what are they called? Buildings. It's Alcatraz and then Disneyland. So Disneyland is the newer buildings, and then Alcatraz is like the old basic buildings. So I was in Disneyland. So the difference is Alcatraz has like bunk beds, and it's very like jail celly. Disneyland is nice.
Like prison.
Yeah, it literally looks like a prison. That's why they call it Alcatraz. But Disneyland is it's pretty nice. Like everyone has like a single bed, and then it's separated by like a cement. It's like a half wall. Like I couldn't see over
Yeah.
it like standing up, but like whatever. So this girl was such an anxious human being that her anxiety rubbed off on other people. And at the
Oh
time,
no.
I did not have anxiety. Shout out to the military for giving it to me. But at the time, I didn't have anxiety. So she had what I now know as trichotillomania. And trichotillomania is a form of OCD, so obsessive compulsive disorder, where she feels the compulsion to pick out her hair.
Oh
So
yeah.
she started with like the base of her neck, and it was very subtle. Like it wasn't something that like we just noticed until it moved to like her eyebrows and then her eyelashes. So she had no hair, and then it started like creeping up, and we were like, "Hey girl, like you're literally going to be bald. Like you need to stop." So it was very randomly. Like we would be at PT and we would be running around. She
Mhm.
would drop something out of her pocket. She would bend down, she'd pick it up and put it in her pocket, and we would just move on. It was only at PT though. It was only at PT that this would happen.
Okay.
So the PT pants and the new ones are different. Have you seen the new PT gear? Fire. So good. So good. They don't have like the little underwear in them anymore. They have spandex in them. Go all the way down.
Oh.
Nice. Nice, right? So the old PT gear, it was like little like black underwear that were on the
Yeah.
inside. We'd gotten out of the shower one day and I was already dressed. I was done. So I was just kind of sitting there. I was sitting there in my chair and she walks out. She has a towel on. She had just gotten out of the shower. And I see her drop something from her towel and I see it go underneath the bed. And there is something about the female barracks. The dust bunnies are insane. Conspiracy theory,
Mm.
I think that the TIs put the dust bunnies there because there is no way. There is no way that all of
I
those
think
dust
they're a
bunnies came
plant.
from somewhere.
It's a planted
So,
dust bunny.
little baby Riley, I'm like, "Oh, she dropped something. Let me be helpful," right? So, I go underneath the bed and I see where she dropped it and it's in this pile of dust bunnies and I grab it and it is this little plastic circle and it has all of these dust bunnies on it. So I'm like picking the dust bunnies off of it and I give it back to her and she goes, "Hey, thanks." I watch her put it inside of her. And I was like, dust bunnies and everything. And I was like,
In her.
in herself. And I was like, it took me several years later and working in women's health to realize that it was the NuvaRing birth control that she was not properly putting in and it was falling out everywhere. And she would just pick it up and put it back inside.
Oh my god!
Dust bunnies and everything.
So a NuvaRing looks like this.
But literally like that. It's
It
a
looks like
plastic
this.
ring that has hormones in it.
Yes.
And the
You-
way that you are supposed to put it in, like that, and then it
And
will
then it-
open up at the top.
And it
She was
doesn't
just
come
opening.
out
She was just putting it in like this.
vertically.
So every time she would move or do anything, it would fall out. What a good demonstration, Hammy. Good job.
Oh my god, stop it. Stop it.
Oh my god, are you like an Air Force medic? Are you like a veteran?
Megan, stop it.
Are
Stop
you like
it.
a nationally certified
yeah.
EMT?
But that makes oh my god, stop it. But that makes sense though, right? Because if it's like this and you put it in, it's just gonna keep sliding out. It's gotta
Yep.
go then and then sideways.
It'll
so
open at the
it
cervix.
stays. Oh.
Mhm.
And it was just falling. So on
Yeah.
the PT track, which is
Yep.
asphalt.
Yep.
Asphalt
Yeah.
in it.
This is actually so funny. This is so funny because I literally told my students this the other day, and one of my boys, he was like, Sarge, like, what did you like after she like put it in? Did you like? And I was like, oh yeah, like I just like stood there at my hands and was like, 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 what do I do? Like, what do I do? Like, help! Like, ran to the bathroom and like washed my hands, and I was like,
with
oh
the
my
freaking
gosh.
soap that they have, which is that like. And you're just like
foam. Yeah, it's like the foam and like it's like 98% water.
You need like that hand sanitizer. You need hand sanitizer. You need alcohol. You need to light it on fire.
Yeah.
What if like you not even? Ugh. That's a brave woman. She said thanks. I would have turned beet red and I would have gone. I don't even know. I don't even
Yeah.
know what I would have done. I wouldn't have accepted it. I wouldn't have accepted it.
I
That's for
don't
dang sure.
Some lights in the house were missing, to say the least.
This is why your mom said don't pick up stuff off the street, okay? This is
Yeah.
why. There's Nuva rings on the ground. Don't touch them. They're not hair ties.
Don't touch the Nuva rings. Leave
Don't
the Nuva rings
don't pick up any
alone.
hair ties off the side of the road. That is
Good
did you
golly.
tell did you like did the drill sergeant end up finding out? Did like
I don't think I told my TIs. I don't think I told my TIs because
but rumor gets around. I'm not saying like you went and like
yeah,
tattled,
no,
but
like I
like
went I went back to my friends and I was like, "Hey guys, what the fuck?" And they were like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, I don't know, like I'm traumatized, like freshly 18 years old. Yeah,
my
that was
God.
that. The Boots Off podcast will now be hosted by our special guest,
Little
Bo.
Boo. Oh,
How are you?
he's saying, Mom, you gotta love
Camera
me.
shy. Are you being camera shy?
He did, Mom, they can only see my ear.
Anything for the fans? What great words. Good
That was
advice,
good.
Bo. That
That's
was
good.
good. Yeah,
We should
thank you.
title that. We should make that the title of the podcast. Bo
Yeah.
sniffs.
Bo sniffs.
Bo
Bo
sniffs.
sniffs. There we go. All right, Hammy. Speaking of that lovely demonstration that you gave us about the Nuva, do you have any
Oh,
tips? Do you have any tips
oh,
for baby medics and corpsmen? Maybe whiskeys or Charlies coming in?
baby, and we're talking green, like baby, fresh out.
Baby, yeah.
I'm trying not to be like instructor mode right now. Because I was about to be like, don't run up on a scene, go slow.
Yeah.
But like, I guess like little things.
Or let me ask this. What advice do you wish that you were given? Like fresh, brand new baby.
Oh, you're gonna feel stupid, even though you just spent 9 months learning stuff. You're gonna feel so stupid. You're gonna
Yeah.
feel and one learning the computer, learning
Oh yeah.
the program. What did we switch to? We switched from
Genesis.
Alta to Genesis,
Yeah.
and Genesis was a beast. So
Girl, I've never worked with Genesis.
never.
Mm-mm. We had just gotten it right before I had left my last base, and I'm not working with like any computer systems right now. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, bless you. We had to cut
every
our
time
patient load because it took us. What the heck was
it's
that?
a bone, but every time I go to film, this is like a thing on like my like platform that every time I go to film, homie has to pull out a bone.
Oh, we think it that he loves it. He says, "Mom, give it
He's about to
back."
be so mad at me. I'm just gonna put it there for right now. Sorry,
Oh,
babe.
the betrayal. The
He
betrayal.
looks so sad right now. He's okay.
He'll be fine.
I'm sorry.
He'll be
Okay,
fine. Ah.
he's good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the computer one, good luck. I will you are my
It's
thoughts.
rough.
I'm sorry. You will feel stupid. And uh this isn't like the correct term for whatever. I don't know if it's against YouTube to say it, but it's when you go and you work for a provider, you will learn through them how to ask questions, what symptoms are, what other things, and they'll teach you more and more and more because they have the degrees, right? They have the
Mhm.
degrees. We have NREMT, but they'll teach us a lot. They'll teach you a lot. Um, it's called getting pimped. It's called getting pimped.
Oh,
Yeah, I learned that.
pimped by your provider.
Yep, you will be pimped.
I've
And
never heard that before.
what?
Did you have a specific doc that you worked with, or did you guys like rotate?
We rotated for sure. They tried to keep us with one, but then you have
Yeah,
someone deployed, you have to fill in.
yeah,
Someone gets out, you fill in. So
yeah.
maternity leave, girl, I don't know what was in the water. Um,
That's a thing. That's a thing in medical. When one person starts getting pregnant, everyone starts dropping like flies.
every six,
And get
7
away.
months, we had a new pregnancy
Yeah,
since basically when I got there.
yeah,
So that was
same.
3 months of sorry, like three something, however long training is minus training, 4 years of every 6, 7 months. There's a
There was
new.
at one point that there was like 6 or 7 people that were pregnant that I work with like currently, and like they were all within like 3 months of each other. So
Oh
when they
Lord.
all delivered, they were all like out. But like definitely in the water. And then people start coming up to you and they're like, "Oh, like stay away from the water, like don't drink the water." And you're like, "I'm good. I'll pass. Thank
She
you."
drinks her water with Propel, thank you. She doesn't do normal water. She
Yes.
needs her Propel. She needs
Yes.
her Propel water. It needs to
Immunity
be
in it.
it has
Immunity.
immunity in it. Riley, you did that so good. Oh my god.
Immunity.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never heard the wow. He just farted so bad.
Ew.
I know. It's yeah, I can't. Okay.
We didn't
Mm,
hear it.
good. I smelt it. So I've never heard like the like getting like the I've never heard of that by your provider.
I was told that
I
by,
can
like, a
see
cool
it.
captain. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
like, I can definitely see it, like, getting to know, like, the docs that you work with. Mine I don't think mine is necessarily, like, medic specific.
Like Air Force?
I don't even know if it's Air Force specific. You need to find a good E4, you need to find a great
Ooh.
E5, and you need to find a mentor and friends outside of your work unit. You have to.
Outside of your work unit?
Outside of your work unit, yeah.
Ooh, why are you saying outside of your work unit?
I I genuinely love my job, right? Like, I love being a medic, I love everything about it, but there is
Mhm.
only so much, like, work stuff that I can talk about that,
Ah, yeah.
like, I I need to be friends with someone in security forces. Like, I
Yep.
have to. Like,
You know there's, like, a triad of friends that, like, is supposed to be your goal?
is it let me guess. Medics are one,
Yep.
obviously. So,
Yep.
medics, security forces, and finance?
Yes!
Yes. Yeah.
Someone with all the keys,
Yep.
someone that knows about medical, and then
Yep.
someone that can help you get paid.
There's a
That's
triad. Go
that's
find
the
them.
triad. Yep,
Go make good
and it's
friends.
easy. You go through the gate in your medical, you go, "Hey," and then they go, "Hey," and then you go, "Hey," and then it's like, it's easy.
Yeah.
And then you go to finance and you go, point to the medical badge, you
Yeah.
need an
There you go.
yeah. There is like a little triad thing, but I want to explain quickly. I just realized the pimping out, so that doesn't sound like bad for the military. Um, that is when you're a medic and then you go and you ask all the questions for, let's say, like the flu, and then you go to your provider and then they go, okay, thank you for asking all these questions, did you ask them this? And then you go, no, and then they send you back and then you go ask that, and then you come back, and then for the next patient you think you asked all the questions and then they add one, and that's how they teach you, right? So that you learn to ask these questions because it helps them better like understand what the patient has. So just so we know what that means,
I
just
think
so
it's really just, like, getting to know, like, the niche of your provider. Like, I had one
mm,
provider that was, like, he wanted the most thorough verbal report. Like, he wanted literally everything done. I had
oh.
another doctor who was, like, what'd they come in for? You would tell him, he goes, "What do they want?" You would tell them, he goes, "Alright, go put this order in, this prescription, I'll sign it off, tell them that they're good to go." I had another provider who was very, like, um she loved teaching and she like everything like wanted to be like a teaching moment, which I
Oh,
loved and
yeah.
I
I love those.
appreciated.
I love those
Yeah,
ones.
but I think and then there was always that one provider that you could just never please. Like you it doesn't matter what you did, you could never please this provider.
I always
I had
call
one.
those providers Doctor House. Not
Yeah,
yeah, and it's not like that's not like a negative thing, like, you can say that
yeah,
behind their back and they'll be like, "Oh, that's a really cool compliment." Like, it's not
mhm.
that's not like a negative thing, but
I had
it's a
one, he was a civilian, he was a civilian doc, and,
yeah,
this patient
civilian
had
docs?
we did, yeah, we had a few,
Huh.
we had patient had come in for a mole on their face, so I if I could pick, I would I would love to work in dermatology. I would
Yeah.
love to work in dermatology. That is, like, one of my, like, dream clinics to work in is derm.
It's fun.
Oh god,
It's a
I
picture
would love
book.
it.
It's a
Yeah,
freaking picture book, and you go, "Ooh, look at
I
this.
would love
Ooh,"
it.
and then you can, like, look at it, and you're like, "Hmm." It's
Mhm.
a very fun, I wanna say kinda like a Nancy Drew job because you can
Oh,
actually
yeah.
see it,
Yeah, lots of
right?
procedures, like, different
Yep.
kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
So I go in the room, obviously, like, I'm asking all the questions, like, blah, 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 whatever, and I go to get a, like, size of it, and I was like, "Hey, like, can you point out where it is?" And they point, like, right in front of their ear, and I was
Hmm.
like, "Hmm." I start looking at it. That's when I realized it is not a mole, and it is the world's biggest blackhead, and, like, it was no joke, it was probably about the size of a quarter, and it was
Oh,
completely dark, and it just had one single, like, pore on it that was,
yeah.
like, huge. I actually think it was, like, a pore liner, which is it's like a dilated pore liner. It's just a huge blackhead essentially is what it is. So,
Wow.
I asked the patient, I was like, "How long has this been here?" And they were like, "Oh, like, I just noticed it, whatever." Go back to the doc, and I was like, "Hey, doc, um, I want to try and take this out. Like, I feel like I've watched enough Dr. Pimple Popper. Like, I really feel like I have my abilities down. Like, I wanna try and take this out." The doc was like, "Whatever, like, I'll probably just end up putting in a referral for derm." And I was like, "No, like, I genuinely think that I can do this, like, on my own." So doc goes back in. He comes back out like 5 minutes later, and he was like, "I tried to pop it, like, nothing came out." And I was like, "Please, please let me go try, please." I ended up getting the entire thing out, like, sac and everything, and, like, that was the only time I think I ever saw that doc, like, crack, like, the slightest bit of emotion. And I
A
was like
pride, just like
I was like, "Thank you." Yeah.
proud of their little Riley.
I saved them money. We didn't have to send them out to derm, so they were good.
Mm,
They were good to go. I was
good job.
helping them out, but mm, might get a little controversial here. Are you ready?
Yay! Let's do it. Let's do it.
Should women be drafted?
Oh. Oh.
So I can start us off here.
Yeah.
So I do. I do think that women should, and, like, when we talk about, like, women getting drafted,
Uh-huh.
so men, when they turn 18, they have to sign up for the draft. There hasn't been
Uh-huh.
a draft since, let's Google this really quick. Alright, the last military draft was December 7th of 1972. And that was the last draft that happened. So when a man turns 18, he has to register and essentially put his name in on the draft.
Mhm,
That has not happened since 1972. I
mhm,
think that women should do the same thing. So when I was in high school, we had to take participation in government, and little baby Riley I had just enlisted. Obviously, I had to finish high school first. I had
mhm.
just enlisted, but I hadn't told anyone yet because it was very much like, oh, like, small blonde girl joining military, like, bleh, like, kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
So, um, that topic had come up, and I remember my pig teacher was like, women can't do, like, what men can do, and, like, women shouldn't fill combat roles, and, like, women need to stay in the household and raise the children and provide for the family and, like, cook dinner and, like, that
Mhm.
kinda thing. I had not said a single word in this class the entire year, and I raised my hand, and I was like, "Sir, do you think that I could run a mile and a half faster than you?" And to put this into perspective, he was a very large teacher. He was a very large teacher, and I
Uh-huh.
asked him, and I was like, "Do you think that I could run a mile and a half faster than you?" And he was like, "Well, I don't see what that has to do it with anything." And I said, "Well, I meet the physical requirements and you don't." So, because then he went on to say that, like, women shouldn't be in the military and, like, blah, 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 whatever, and I was like, "Did you ever serve?" And he was like, "No, but, like, I got a D3 scholarship to go and play football," and, like,
Oh,
it
Riley's
was whatever.
mad.
So, then that's when I went on and I was like, "Well, I'm joining the military," and, I was like, "If any point, like, there's a physical, like, test between me and you, like, you will not win." So
Hmm.
he got mad and he kicked me out of his class.
He
Sorry,
kicked
dad.
you out of his class like that
Yeah, I
day
don't
or
know
that
if I
class?
ever that day. I don't know if I ever told
Okay.
my dad that. Yeah. I wrote a whole paper
Sorry,
about it and
Mr.
everything.
Riley.
Sorry,
Sorry,
Mr.
Papa
Riley.
Riley. Interesting, interesting. So you think that when when you're 18, men and women when they turn 18, that they should, or when they are 18, that both should join for the draft.
I mean, it's putting your name on a list, right? Like, it's you write your name down on a list, and that's all that it is. And I think that, like, a large part of it for me comes from I don't have a very traditional view
Mhm,
on, like, women and, like, men and, like, roles in the household and
mhm,
that kind of thing. And I know that you have a a more traditional view when it comes to these things.
I'm more old fashioned for sure. I'm
Yeah.
more old fashioned for sure. And like there's no like right or wrong way. Like it's whatever. Um, but yeah. So for me though, when it comes to the draft, when it comes to that stuff, my opinion actually just more comes from like studying like historical civilizations and stuff. And there were civilizations where we would have like, let's just say Vikings, right? With
Mhm.
strong female warriors, strong male warriors, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen were both equally strong, fighting on the front lines and stuff. The issue with that became when they would win or lose and then go back, they would have less ability to repopulate. And so eventually those civilizations, smaller ones, whatever, you would often see them like dying out. And that was just due to sustainability, right? That makes
Mhm.
sense. If you have people going, both both men and women going, coming back, right? That over time through more conflict and wars, you would have less ability to restabilize, repopulate, do whatever you need for the younger generation, take care of the older generation, replace fighters, all that good stuff. So for my opinion, I don't think I am not for women joining the draft, regardless that I did join. But also if they did, I honestly think if we did and we had everybody joining at 18. I think when it came to us deciding where we want to go fight, if you knew that both your son and daughter were going to be at risk, I think we would also be a little bit more strategic in like having people go certain places.
Yeah.
So I think from a civilization survival perspective, I don't think we should. Um, and that's where my take is from. That's where my
Mhm.
take. Traditionally, yeah, I am a little bit more old school. But that one's on survival of our nation. Okay, that one's on the survival of our nation. You can't fight me on that one. You can't fight me. Does my point? Do I
Yeah.
have a point? Do
You
I have a
do.
point?
You do have a point, but like we've
But
talked
what?
about this, I don't want kids.
I
So
know.
like
I
the
know you don't
fate
want
of our
kids.
nation is not depending on my ovaries.
But what if what okay, I thought you were gonna say on me, which I could totally be like, "But why not?" But now it's like your ovaries, I'm like, "Well, um, no, no. Okay, fine. Fair, fair,
Fair.
fair,
Fair. I think that
but
there's always room, you know?
yeah,
Because
I
like
mean, sure,
you
there's
say
room.
this all the time that like at some point you are going to get out of the military.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
At some point you are either going to get out of the military
Mhm.
or not. Like I don't know. Like there
Or
will
forever be
be
in.
yeah, once a Marine, always a Marine.
Very
Um
true. I've met some Marine veterans. Freaking awesome.
there have you ever talked to a Marine veteran and been like, oh, like you were in the Marine Corps? And then they're like, like once a Marine, always a Marine, and then they start barking at you. Have you ever been barked at by a Marine?
No, I've never been barked at, but I will immediately go
Girl,
into the like the this is my rifle. My rifle is nothing without me. I am nothing without my. And then they go, hell yeah,
there you
good job, Air
go.
Force.
There you go. The first time I ever got barked at by a Marine unit was one of the most terrifying experiences that I've ever had.
Oh,
Just me. Like, this wasn't even that long ago. This was probably maybe a year ago. By myself walking and a
on a
group
base,
of yeah, on base.
on a base. Okay.
Yeah. So obviously like I was in uniform and it was a group of probably like maybe 20, maybe 30
Mhm.
Marines and it was they're walking towards me, like, in formation,
Yep.
whatever yeah, yeah, they're walking towards me in formation. I
Mhm.
am walking by them, and
Uh-huh.
it was, like, just as we were about to cross paths, and I was like scared the shit out of me. Like, I jumped, and I was like, "Why am I being barked at? Like, what did I do wrong?" And then I realized that the Marines just bark, and they
They
just bark at
just
people.
bark. Do you think it's because they're called like devil dogs? Do you think that's where the woofing comes from?
It is, yeah, the
It
devil
is.
dogs
Okay.
that's, like, where it comes from, but I went back and I asked some of my really good Marine friends, and they were like, "Dude, that's, like, the most respect that you can get out of a group of Marines," and I was like, "Oh, okay," like Hell yeah. Like, I
What's
love that.
what would the other one be? If barking is good on this spectrum, what's the bad?
Oh,
Can if there's a Marine or former Marine
yeah,
listening to this,
please
could you
answer.
please
There's
explain
no former Marines.
sorry, if
If
you
you are a
are
Marine.
if you are a Marine, can you explain the barking spectrum? And if barking is good, what's the other and like what's the middle? We would all
Yeah. Is there
I would love a full circle on this.
a spectrum of barking?
Yeah, I'd be curious. But that's good though. That's a lot of respect. You went, heck yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Put a little respect on Air Force's
There
name.
you
Yeah, yeah,
go.
yeah,
There
yeah,
you
yeah.
go. Let's see. Why does everyone in the military get married so fast?
Girl, who knows?
I do.
What?
Money, moving out of the barracks,
Uh-huh.
and staying with your tech school boo.
Oh
Don't do
boy.
that. If I can give you one advice, and if you can listen to me for once, please don't get married to your tech school boo. Sometimes it works out. There was a couple that I was in tech school with, and they are still married to this day. Almost 7 years in. Congratulations to y'all. You guys are a
Oh,
rarity.
very.
But
Yep.
I can promise you that the marriage and the divorce is not worth the BH.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I didn't realize culturally how much I had changed, like military culture wise. Do you know the show Love is Blind?
Love it.
There was a girl on there. I think it was like, I don't remember if it was last season or the season before, but I remember she was in the room, right? So Love is Blind was where you're dating people. It's on Netflix. You don't see each other. There's a wall between y'all, and it's basically like you're talking to each other through the wall. And then if you fall in love, you propose. When you propose, you go into this beautiful hallway. The doors come up. You see each other for the first time. You decide if you want to get married. The whole
Mhm.
premise is love really blind. And I remember during the communication part where there's a guy and a girl in their own separate rooms, the music gets sad and like she starts to do the side interview, right? Where she's actually not in the room. She's in the chair. She's talking to the camera, explaining. She goes, I'm so worried to tell people that I was married before. I was so she's like, I have to tell. She's like, I really like this guy. I got to tell him that I'm divorced. And in my mind, I said, who the heck cares? And I realized because sorry, my camera likes this thing more than I do. And I was like, who the heck cares? And then I realized I was like, oh, everybody in the military, everyone gets freaking married all the time. It's just like a thing. And Riley's
You
probably right. It definitely comes down to because your finance goes up, this and that, which in a way, the military does incentivize monogamous marriages, right? Because it's illegal to cheat in the military. It's illegal to cheat. Do with that what you will, and you get a pay raise. So there's actual supporting, monogamous marriages and all that good stuff, and punishment if you don't stay true. So that's a very
that
interesting
is
thing.
true.
Just something to think about. But I did realize that I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like for other people, like that's not normal. But like there's so many marriages that happened in my unit.
Do you know how hard it is to find someone who is not divorced and or has children?
You give them to people that are 2 years in, probably. That's the only people that might not have that, including tech. You think soon? You're probably right. It's probably sooner. Yeah, everybody has
Oh,
kids or is
definitely.
divorced or married.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
like so many people join. And like there's nothing wrong with that, like by any means. But
Oh,
there's so many people that like have kids that join the military or like are divorced
yeah,
and like want like a fresh start and like join the
yeah.
military.
Heck
Um,
yeah. Heck
but
yeah.
it's very hard to find someone who hasn't. There's like an ongoing like they say like to be a chief you have to have at least a divorce and an Article 15.
Yeah, I've heard the Article 15. I haven't heard the divorce one, but
Yeah.
that's funny. It's
Yeah.
funny, but
So
just so happens. And Chiefs are in for a while, so they've been in for a while. So
yeah.
yeah,
So I don't know. There's
that's
definitely reason to it.
yeah.
Let's see. If there's one thing that you could change, hold on, I need to brush my hair out of my face. If there's one thing that
Riley, it's just us. You good?
I know, but I've been talking all day.
Do it,
All right.
do it, do it 20 million times.
If
We
there's
love
one
the faces.
thing, I'm trying. If there's one thing that you would change about If there's one thing that you would change about the military for females, I'm gonna reword that. If there's one thing that you would change about the military for women, what would it be?
For women
Mhm.
specifically, oh, easy. Um, I think that as soon as you are pregnant, you are pregnant, you've been diagnosed by your provider, you're given your pregnancy profile, an automatic referral that you don't have to do any work for or approval for to get pelvic floor physical therapy. I think that that should be out the door. I think that should be an immediate thing. A lot of people don't know that one pelvic floor physical therapy is good for you while you are developing in pregnancy, and also more commonly known outside, like postpartum after you deliver.
Mhm.
Um, and then actually made a program where I created that for my clinic, and it got approved. Everything we
That's
included a part
amazing.
of our stuff. Yeah, it was a huge thing. I'm not going to get into it because I could ramble on. Um, but it's a really great idea.
Can you give us, like,
Um,
a quick gist of, like, why pelvic floor therapy is so important for women?
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So one, just most studies show that most extent of pelvic floor physical therapy, people think it's Kegels,
Mhm.
can go far beyond that. One of the major benefits I was hitting on is there's a very common stereotype, specifically in the United States, that after you get pregnant, after you deliver, when you laugh, you pee yourself a little. When you jump on a trampoline with the kids, you pee
I
yourself a little,
sneeze.
right? There can be painful intercourse
Mhm.
afterwards, hip pain, all that stuff. Not only can pelvic floor physical therapy rebuild those muscles to help treat those before they even happen. Another thing, which not a lot of people know about, is a year after you deliver, there's 365 days after where um, there's like a mortality rate that there's a percentage of mortality rate that can happen to the mother during delivery, but there's another one that can happen for the year after. And
Hmm.
if you are consistently going to, could be anything from a clot to blood pressure to
Yeah.
heart rate, whatever. If you're going to pelvic floor physical therapy after you deliver, you're constantly being seen by
Yeah.
a medical professional. You're
Hmm.
constantly having someone check in, and working in pediatrics after you deliver, obviously it's all about the baby, right? But
Yeah.
there's a lot of appointments, but the mom kind of forgets about herself sometimes. So if we did that, kept it, encouraged it, increased the education, I think that would be a super big positive thing.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Try to keep it as short. I can ramble.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's definitely great.
yeah. 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 So that's what I think. That's all I can think of though. Do you
Yeah.
have anything that you could think for the ladies in camo?
I think I feel like mine would be more like, like big sister advice, kind of, when it
Okay.
comes to, like, hair care and stuff.
Ooh,
Yeah,
what
I
you
think
got?
that's, like, a big one, like and I'm sure you went through the phase, like, when you first joined, like, the eco gel, like, using
Oh,
eco
yeah.
gel and, like,
A big
slathering
tub
your
of
hair in
green.
it and, like yeah, and, like, the amount of hair loss that I had from, like, the alcohol-based products and,
Girl, don't even,
um
yeah.
my hair still is curly, but, like, I just wash it. I wash it on Sundays, and then I blow it out so that I
It looks
don't have
beautiful.
to. Thank you.
It's giving
Um
model. It's giving model. Look at the swish.
don't cut
Do
me
the little hair swish.
Um, but, like, stuff like that, like braiding, like, in different ways to, like, protect your hair, like,
Yeah.
wearing a silk bonnet. I wear my silk bonnet to sleep every single night, like
Ooh.
yeah, it was good. And then the other thing, which we might as well throw this in. If you are a woman and you are active duty, you can go directly to the pharmacy and get a free plan B. Like, you don't have to be
Yes.
seen, you do not have to be seen by a provider. You can go directly to the pharmacy. They might ask you a question or two, but that's just to make sure that you're good, like within the time frame.
Yep.
And then you can go and you can get it. I know at least where I was, there wasn't like a limitation on the number. But obviously when we get a certain point, you know, maybe we would want to think about some like longer form like birth control. But
Mhm.
that is that is always an
Mhm.
option. I feel like a lot of women don't know about that. So
No, that's huge, and that actually reminds me, because
mm,
you totally reminded me of, like, briefs I had to give patients. There's another one.
mm,
If you are getting an IUD, right? So an intrauterine device, so birth control that gets inserted through the vaginal cavity, through the cervix. So think of we have like the copper, we have like the Mirena, common names, things like that. If you are super nervous about it, which is normal, especially if you haven't delivered a baby before and your cervix hasn't dilated and stretched, right? If you're super nervous about it, you can request a referral to go off base where they will give you a Xanax.
We did that in my clinic.
So the thing is, some clinics have it,
Mhm.
some don't. And if they
Yeah.
don't, it's not always talked about
Yeah.
because you just would rather, obviously, you'd rather them get their birth control when they need it, right? You don't want them to have to, they want it for a reason.
Mhm.
So, patient, all that good stuff. And there can be a wait, but that is an option. If it's not an
Did
option,
you sorry.
no, if it's
Cut
not an
you
option,
off.
just ask. Just ask.
Yeah. The CDC just updated their guidelines for pain management when it comes to IUDs.
I saw that. Thank
That's
freaking
amazing. That's
God.
amazing. Literally, I think that so like I have an IUD, right? Because I wanted like a longer form birth control. It lasts for up to 8 years now.
Hmm.
So it's like good, right? But I worked in women's health for so long and like we would put so many IUDs in and like
Hmm.
I knew like step by step like what was gonna happen. I remember I asked my provider before and I was like, I'm so scared that it's gonna hurt because a lot of the times we would give patients an 800 milligram of Tylenol and we would give patients a single Xanax and we would tell them to both take them like an hour before they came in and that
Yep.
they would be good. And like a lot of women that worked for, but I had to keep working. So I was like, I can't. It was like at the very end of the day. So I asked my provider. I gave myself a shot of Toradol in one butt cheek and a shot of Benadryl in the other butt cheek. And then I went and had my
Benadryl?
yeah, because it's antihistamine, but
Right.
it has some anti-inflammatory qualities. But because
Oh,
of
of
the way
course.
that it affects the rest of your body and like kind of like the sleepy, like calming effect that it has, Benadryl actually works for a lot of people. Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm. It
interesting.
didn't work for me. I had like a full-blown panic attack, like while she was connecting
Well,
my
because
cervix.
we've seen the tenaculum and we've seen things. We
Girl,
know that
it hurts.
we know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a reminder, there are many reasons to get birth control.
Yeah.
A lot of people have irregular or heavy
Mhm.
periods to the point where it's disrupting their day-to-day activities
Yeah.
and they just need something to regulate or limit or not have one. So also those are other things as well.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Like, it's so funny that we're talking about this because I literally was talking about this today that like we would have like younger girls that would come in and like they just like their main
yep.
complaint and that's like honestly the number one reason that a lot of people start birth control is that they have like
Irregular,
heavy
heavy.
heavy menstrual cycles, a lot of cramps, irregular, they want to
Yep.
regulate it out. We would put my provider would put patients on like a 3-month cycle of birth control to
Yep.
regulate out their hormones for like PCOS before they were like trying to conceive. Like there's so
Yep.
many different reasons that people can get birth control.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Definitely, for sure. All right.
Riley, what the heck you doing?
I have
We cut for a minute. We cut, but
I
this
have
is
my
a
PT test tomorrow morning.
this is an
So
outtake right now.
every year, I try and outdo my number of sit-ups from the year before. So your
Oh, tell
feet,
me your
your
numbers.
your legs have to be at 90 degrees, and then you
Yeah.
can touch anywhere in between your hips and your knees.
Yeah.
I am 5'1" on a good day. I have an inch in between my hip and my bottom rib. I literally have to move 2 inches off the ground to
Mhm.
get like a full sit up.
Mhm.
Last year I got 83.
Oh, nice.
I'm shooting for 84 tomorrow.
Get it, girl. Get
I'm
it.
doing sit-ups, the hand release push-ups, and the hammer run.
Oh, nice.
Not the fan of the hammer run, but
Is
it's
that
all
the
right.
beep one? Is that where you go beep,
Yeah,
beep, 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 beep,
yeah,
beep, beep? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I think I have to do
I
like 60 something to get a 98, which is what I want. I want
yeah.
100, but I have to run 83.
It's a
And
lot.
I know that there's if we put this in there, there's gonna be people that are gonna be like 83 isn't even that bad. Quit complaining. It's only 20 meters. My legs are 3 inches long. I am not built for speed. Yeah, yeah, me.
Beep. Poor little Riley. She's
Riley
struggling. She's
running the PT
leaping.
test.
She's freaking
Oh, to be a veteran.
Girl, hey, I always did my classic one. I was prideful in my stuff. I always maxed out my push-ups.
Yeah.
Which people are gonna say, but you were doing probably Air Force baby push-ups like this. You're probably
Look at that
like
deltoid. Look at that
this far."
deltoid.
Yeah, look
Real
at look
push-ups.
look at look at it. Look at it. All right. I did the full thing. I didn't do the all right. I did the full ones. I always maxed it out. My sit-ups were like usually the same as my push-ups. Um Always did the run. It was a
Yeah.
little bit it was just slow, but it was good. I always got like a 98. That's all I cared about. I always got like a 98.
See? That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you
Uh,
gotta do.
that's all I want. That's all I wanted in life.
As long as I get over that 90, then I'm happy. As long as I get over a 95, then I'm
Tell the
happy.
people what happens if you get a 95 in the Air Force on your
Well,
PT
if you
test.
get over a 90, so that means that you only have to take your PT test once a year. If you get over a 95, depending on who your commander is, they'll give you a day off of work.
You get a day off. You get an Air Force certificate that says, "Good job for doing the thing that was
You get
expected of you in the first place. Here's a free day, no leave." There
oh,
you go. Good job,
thank
Airman.
you,
Good
thank
job, Airman.
you.
Good job, Airman. I take that every time and I immediately throw it on the counter. I'm like, "Sorry, I want this day off. Make it a Friday or a Monday." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Let's
3-day weekend. You
go."
get mentioned at the commander's call up on the screen, like PT excellence. Like hell yeah, hell
Oh,
yeah.
another reason to join the Air Force. You get a day off for doing the thing you're supposed to already do.
Oh,
Let's
I can't wait
go.
to make the people mad.
Let's go. Oh
There we
God,
go.
that makes me so I forgot about the day off. Oh, I looked forward to it every single I'd be done and I would be like, I'd be done. I'd like my run because it's the very last thing you do. And I would like collapse over a line and be like, day off. Day off. I did it. I got the day off.
Water!
I
Water!
got Patrick, pinky's out. Oh my god, dude, that's my favorite episode. That's everybody's favorite episode. Freaking,
God.
you like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?
I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob growing
What?
up. Yeah, my parents thought that like SpongeBob, Timmy Turner, like Zoe 101, like those kinds of shows. My parents thought that they were like bad
You know,
impressions.
bad impressions?
Yeah, so like I
Like they
wasn't
were
allowed to
hating
watch.
on the voice actors doing their
No, so like
doing their
Timmy Turner, the babysitter, like they thought that she had a bad attitude, so like
Aw.
couldn't watch it. Zoe 101, they were like, I mean, they were young, but they were like 12, like in like that first season, like they were like
Yeah.
portraying 12-year-olds, which they
Yeah.
probably weren't more than like 14. But my
That's a
parents,
freaking actor.
yeah, I think my parents were like, oh, like we don't want you acting like you're grown at that age. But yeah,
That's
no.
fair.
So instead, I would just fall asleep and wake up to George Lopez blaring at 2 a.m.
Oh my god,
Oh,
dude.
my
George
friends.
Lopez. I
The
forgot about that.
Lorada.
Girl, I forget. Did you ever watch Danny Phantom?
Yes, I did watch Danny Phantom. Loved him.
Biggest crush on Danny Phantom. Oh my god.
Really? That's so fitting for you.
Hey, what the hell does that even mean?
I don't know, but I
What
feel
does
like
that mean?
you will agree with me that that is very fitting that your crush was Danny Phantom.
He was the main character. He was a freaking hero. He turned into Phantom. He was cool. I also had a crush on did you ever watch Sailor Moon? This was my first crush.
No, I never watched any anime.
Oh my god, don't worry, Riley. I'll fix you.
There we go. There we go.
Oh my god. There was this guy, his name was Tuxedo Mask. And he was like Sailor Moon's like crush. He was like the hero, he'd always come in and save her. Oh my god, biggest crush on Tuxedo Mask.
I feel like I don't remember having crushes on like cartoon characters.
Well, don't put it like that. It sounds
No, but like
no. So you gotta say the main
childhood.
male protagonist. You gotta say, "Hey man, I can't remember having." You gotta say male. Don't say I had a crush on a cartoon. Dang.
I feel like it's not weird,
Just
but like I don't know. Like
that. It sounds weird.
I can agree with you that like Danny Phantom was fine. Like
There we go. She admits
there
it.
we go.
Don't come
There
after
we
my
go.
man like that.
Did you?
Danny
You
Phantom.
were like early 2000s Disney Channel, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Like High School Musical.
High School Musical, I think, came out when I was in. I don't remember when. I remember it. Yeah, it was like we're all in this together.
I will show who you are. Yes, and make your dreams come
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. The Lizzie McGuire movie. That's like the most far
Mm,
back I can remember for Lizzie McGuire movie. But where
okay.
where where are you going with that? 2000s? Because I know
Corbin,
you were
Corbin Blue.
Corbin Blue. Girl, the internet was in love. Everybody was in love with Corbin Blue.
Yeah.
I remember so many online like posts
Yeah.
about Corbin Blue. Like the whole
Do you
thing.
remember? Do you remember like the Tiger Beat magazines?
The what? Like Tiger
Okay.
King?
No, Tiger Beat. They were like tween magazines and they would have like the like in the middle of the magazines they would have like the posters and you'd be able to like take them out and like put them up in your room.
No. I don't think I ever
Like
got those.
J14, it was
Uh-uh.
like J14 and Tiger Beat. Ah, I had so many photos. And I don't even think I knew like any of who these people were. I think I just wanted to be like cool. Like I definitely remember having, like, One Direction up, like, Big Time Rush.
That not my I had NSYNC, Backstreet
Mm,
Boys. Girl, I had their CD. You
uh,
open the CD, and in the inside of the CD, there's a poster you can unravel with all the list of all the songs.
did
I'd
you ever watch
hang
Holes?
those up. Oh, love holes.
Hold on. Will we get clocked if I play a song? A second.
Play it. Play it and we'll see. I'm scared of Disney Online.
Yes.
You got to go dig those holes.
Mm, mm.
Oh god.
With
The
broken
way this
hands
song
and
makes
withered
me
souls,
feel
emancipated from
wait
all
for it.
you know. You got to go dig those holes.
Shia LaBeouf? I still get it.
Oh, get it, Riley. Get it, get it, get it.
This came up on a TikTok the other day though, and this girl was talking about how she was obsessed with this. So I like went back and like had to listen to it, right?
Yeah.
This was
Dig it
so
up, oh,
good.
yeah.
There's one
I
specific
forgot
part.
about that. Get it, Riley. Get it,
This
get it,
though,
get it.
it was so good. It was so good.
I think that's fine. Disney, please, respectfully, I'm scared of you. Right,
Please.
we respect you on
We
all the
love
power
you.
you have. Don't
We
DMCA
love
strike
you.
us. That was fair. That was fair.
Please. We were just appreciating you.
I forgot that dig it up, oh yeah. It's like
Oh,
I'm
so
tired of
good.
this
That was
grandpa.
my favorite. That was my favorite Disney movie with
Really?
holes. Yes, I like would watch it on repeat.
Do you remember the Peaches guy? He's like,
Yes,
I
of
can fix
course.
that.
Yes. And then she made them bite the lizards or the
Yeah,
lizards, she like made them I don't know,
kissing Kate
wild.
Barlow. Yeah, something.
Yeah. Wow, look at
Yeah.
you.
I know. I
There you
know.
go.
I may or may not have rewatched that in the past 365 days, but who knows for sure, really.
Same, you can't confirm or
Yeah,
deny.
get in there,
Wow.
hater,
It's
hater, man.
wild.
Oh, that was a great little flashback. Ugh,
Here we go.
hot, hot in
I
this
know, same. The
heated blanket.
lights. The lights.
The freaking
Contrary
lights.
to contrary to belief, it is not daylight outside
No,
right now because it's 1 a.m. So
yeah,
these lights are fake, but
you're welcome.
there you
Put them
go.
on for you.
Just for you. What do you say, Hammy? Should we meet at this time next Wednesday?
Same time next
Same time
week
next
Wednesday, I guess.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you
Yep.
say? What do you say to them?
Boots,
I'll say boots off.
the boots off,
Are your boots on? Or are they off?
off.
Off. I'm not even wearing shoes right now.
Don't pay attention to the pajama pants, all right? I do what I do in the comfort of my own comfiness.
Don't mind. All you get to see is from here up. Don't mind pants.
Exactly. On. Pants are on. Pants need to be on though.
Pants on, boots off. Don't be
Pants,
weird.
yeah. Boots off.
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 Boots
Boots
off.
off. Boots off.
Boots off. Hey, have you heard
Boots.
of Boots Off podcast?
Their boots are
Hosted by Hammy and Riley.
they're funny.
They're off. The boots are funny and they're off.
Yep. But you don't
Okay.
see it.
No, you just
Yeah.
get to use your imagination.
We're killing
go.
it. We're killing it right
There we
now.
go.
It's
All
happening.
right. It's happening.
It's
There's things happening.
How do you end a podcast, Riley? How do we do it? I'm freaking out. I'm forgetting. We're
Go share, like, and subscribe our podcast, please.
Thank you. I didn't know your voice could do that. That was very impressive.
Thank you.
You're so
Like Paris
welcome.
Hilton.
Hey, girl, she doesn't age, but we
know.
can
I love that for her.
next time on anti-aging. No, I'm just kidding. What do we have a plan for next time, or we just
We do. We have a plan for next time.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we would
Yes.
love to hear your favorite content creators. Whether
Oh,
it be
yeah.
content creators, maybe a video, whatever it is, we would love
Yeah.
to see them.
Yeah.
We will be watching, reacting,
Yeah.
and just having some giggles, just having some fun little girl time.